So now there comes another very important lecture related to amino acids, that is the nomenclature of amino acids, that how we can name different types of amino acids. A topic is nomenclature of amino acids. Nomenclature of amino acids. As we have given names to many of the organic compounds, for example, hydrocarbons, alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, alcohols, phenols, and ethers, aldehydes, and ketones. We have studied two basic categories of names. One is common names of the organic compounds, and other one is the IUPAC international. There's a union which gives specific name to the organic compound, that is IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So in case of amino acids, the category of names which we will follow here is the common names of the amino acids. These common names of the amino acids are mostly used whenever we are giving them name, while on the other hand these IUPAC names are less frequently used. IUPAC names, they are not used in the majority of the cases. These common names are very frequently used. So on what basis do we give different types of common names to the amino acids? These bases upon which we give different names to these amino acids are their origin, on the basis of origin, or on the basis of properties they show. For example, if I talk about a very simple amino acid, very first amino acid, that is glycine. Its name is glycine. So from where this glycine word has been derived? This glycine word has been derived from glycus. And in Greek word, this glycus means sweet in taste. So this is the origin, that this glycus means sweet in taste. Therefore we give the name to this amino acid that as glycine. Similarly, if I talk about triosine is another amino acid, TRYOSINE, triosine. This is also a common name of another amino acid. This trios means trios, TRYOS, trios. This trios means cheese. In Greek, this word means cheese. So these are the common names of amino acids, in which the basis upon which we give them different names is their origin as well as their properties. And whenever we are giving different types of common names to amino acids, then a very simpler formula, you can understand that a very simple formula to represent them, these amino acids, is there to write their first three words of their name. For example, this is a glycine amino acid, so whenever I am writing glycine, I will write it as GLY. Similarly, when I am trying to write triosine, I will write TRY. This TRY means triosine. Alanine is another amino acid, I will write it as ALA. So these are the common names of the amino acids which are derived. These common names are derived on not any scientific basis. They are just derived on the basis of the origin of that amino acid as well as upon the basis of properties which they carry. So the other category of names of the amino acids is the IUPAC names, and these IUPAC names are given on the behalf of those rules which we have studied for the carboxylic acids, for naming different types of carboxylic acids. For example, if I write the very simple amino acid COOH, and this is attaching one carbon atom with itself, and it has amino group as well, so it will also contain two hydrogen atoms with it. So it is an alpha amino acid and its name is glycine. Its common name is glycine, derived from the word glycus. So what will be its IUPAC name? First of all, we will make a numbering from the functional group which comes first in the priority list. So carboxylic acid comes first in the priority list. So its IUPAC name will be, since this amino group is present on the carbon number 2, so its name becomes 2 amino 2 amino and then ethanoic acids. All of the other amino acids are named in in the same way. We just follow the rules of carboxylic acids whenever we are trying to give them IUPAC names. So this was a very simple video about the nomenclature of about the nomenclature of amino acids. So I hope you have understood, you have cleared the idea. I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Thank you.